Kids, as promised, I'm back. I know you missed me. So let me explain this in terms of how this relates to like gravity. Because again, if you can visualize it and think about it in terms of like a contour map in terms of gravity, it's going to make a lot of sense. So you can see my, parallel plates, the setup back there behind this. But I have a table here that's inclined. Okay, so I just want to show you how this represents kind of the same idea. So if I had, okay, if I called the highest part of my table over here, this would be representing like the plus 35 volts. So like this would be my positive gravitational potential, okay, where this one was the positive electric potential. Over here, this side over here, where it's underneath my table height, this would be like my negative 35 volts or my negative gravitational potential. Where if you look, do you see where right here, this would represent 0. Okay, so this would be my 0 line right there. So, and then the potential difference, in this case, the gravitational potential difference from the top to the bottom would represent 70 volts. Okay, but this should make sense. Again, if we're thinking about like a charge, so let's pretend that this is my charge. Well, if I have a charge right here and I just have another charge, I move the charge straight across. So I'm going to put my meter stick there. But if I have my charge sitting there, okay, and I move it this way, I didn't do any work on that thing. Why? Because there's no potential difference. That if you are here and you're staying on the same thing, that's not going to happen. Where this mass is going to want to roll downhill. It's going to want to go from a high potential to a low potential, just like my positive charge over there would want to go from a high voltage to a low voltage. The only piece that's kind of weird is you have to, and that's a little bit weird with gravity, is if this was a negative charge, it would actually go that way. It would be going uphill. I just can't really show that with gravity because gravity only attracts. At least we haven't discovered the anti-gravity, particle yet. Okay, but does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So this would be equal potential line, equal potential line, equal potential line. Some people call them, when they're looking at maps, a contour line. Okay, where it's the same elevation, but it's the same idea. Okay. And then my electric field, or in this case, my gravitational field, is going to be pulling it this way. So yeah, so that's with this. Electric fields are next. Bye, kids.